Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing all right today and we're ready to learn some math. Today we're going to continue with using estimation to see if our addition is reasonable. We are going to be working with addition today and we're going to be determining whether or not we can find that answer using base 10 blocks, something you're already familiar with that you used in kindergarten, first, second grade. So we're going to use those virtual manipulatives today. So you will need to pull up another screen, which I did put that on your lesson work. So you should be able to find those virtual manipulatives on the bottom of the lesson work. I actually put two sites on there. I found one site that might be a little bit better in regards to putting them together and being able to add them. So you may want to pull that up today as you're watching the video and working through those problems so that you can get used to doing those today. You can use that virtual manipulative slide to do the lesson work that I gave you. I gave you a 5-question problem on Google Forms. You can just use that manipulative slide and have it open so you can put those numbers together. And we're going to begin with talking about our learning objective for today. So we are still going to be using our estimation to check for reasonableness, but we're also going to be adding numbers together to determine if the estimation that we got is going to make our answer reasonable. Does it match the numbers that we have based on that estimation? And we're learning this so that we can compare our results for estimation to determine if our work is reasonable. That's the whole point. In my mind, if I'm doing an estimation, I want to make sure that it's close to the original answer if I'm doing something in the real world, kind of like what we talked about before when we started estimation. You know, if somebody asks you for an about price, not the exact price, then you can give them that estimation. It'll be maybe a little bit more, but it may be a little bit less also. So we're going to know that we are successful with that when we can estimate our sums and differences before calculating to determine reasonableness. And then we're also going to be able to represent addition and subtraction using models and a number line. So today we're going to be using those models. We're going to be using those base 10 blocks that you're already familiar with. So let's jump right into our first problem. And I want you to think about this problem and discuss it. We're going to discuss it together as we go through. When we see a word problem, we should not be looking for numbers immediately. We should be thinking about what the problem's actually saying. So as we're reading it, we should be visualizing what the problem is really talking about. So in this one, Rylan went hiking along the Appalachian Trail. He hiked 148 miles the first week and 531 miles the second week. So in my mind, I'm seeing Rylan walking on this trail. The first week he went 148 miles. And the second week he went 531 miles. It's asking the question of how many miles did Rylan hike. So at this point, I know that I'm going to have to combine those together to find out how many miles he actually hiked. So in this particular case, I'm going to use addition to get that answer. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and pull up that manipulative slide so I can show you how to build those, this problem using those base 10 blocks. And you can even draw these out on paper to help you. So we're going to use those base 10 blocks to help us find this answer. So one of the things I like about this particular site is that it allows you to choose your base 10 blocks. So I can come up here. And I know that I've got to make 148 first, so I'm going to click on this and go ahead and put it down here. Maybe. Let me start over. There we go. I was drawing the picture first. So I'm going to click on those base 10 blocks. So I'm going to make 148. So I need 100, 4 10s, and 8 1s. And again, I know that if you you used base 10s a lot when you were in second grade for sure. So you're familiar with what each of these are. You know that this represents 100. These are your tens, these are your ones, and right now you can see the number 148. Now our next number is 541. So you can come down here. If I click on this block, I can actually hit this duplicate button and get 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to slide these over so you can still see everything that we need to see visually here. Let's get this one over just a little bit more because we're going to need to see all the blocks that we have. And I need 3 more tens. Let's get these over just a tad. I think I got them too close. So I'm going to click on this and just duplicate 1, 2, 3. And then I need one more one. So now I'm ready to see, and you may want to just spread these out. I didn't do so well spreading them out when I put them on there. So now I can start figuring out what our answer to this problem is. So I'm going to come over and count my 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 hundreds. I'm going to use my pencil here. And I also want to tell you that you can use your pencil to draw these as well. So I've got 600, and then I'm going to count my tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 70. So I know that I'm going to have a 7 here. And then I'm going to count my ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my answer to this problem is going to be 679. Now, I'm going to show you really quickly how you can also, and I'm going to trash everything that you see here and just clear it off. I'm going to start over. And I'm going to show you quickly how you can also draw, because these are some things that maybe you don't have that virtual manipulative screen when you're working out a problem like this. So if I already know that I have 100, I'm going to go ahead and draw just 100 square. I don't need to put anything there because I already know that that's going to be one flat, which is 100. And then I'm going to draw my 10. So I'm just going to draw lines for those. And I needed 4. So this one, drawing it for me is just a little bit easier than pulling those blocks down because they get a little big. But you can use either one. I want you to be able to either draw the picture or see it. And then I'm going to just draw little ones for my ones. Now, I can actually go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to make my 531. So I'm going to draw my flats. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have my 5 for 531. I'm going to draw my 3 tens because I have a 3 in the tens place. And then I'm going to draw my 1 for 531. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 tens, and 1 1. Now I'm going to start putting those together. So if I look up here, I have 8 already. So I know that if I add another one to it, I'm going to have a 9. I've got 4 already. I'm adding 3 more, so I've got a 7. And then I had 1, adding 5 more hundreds to it to get 600. So you can actually draw those pictures as well. And you can clear it off and fix it that way. Now our next problem is going to be just a little bit different because we're going to have to do some thinking here about what we already know about base 10. So let's read the problem. Let's imagine it. If some of you live on a farm, you know exactly how to envision this problem. This problem says that Sam worked on the farm storing bales of hay in the barn. The first day he stacked 585 bales and 389 bales on the second day. About how many bales were stored in the barn. So we're not going to use estimation here. I don't need that word about. So just ignore that word about. We want to know how many bales he stored in the barn. So we're going to use that base 10 knowledge again. I'm going to flip over. So our numbers are 389 and 585. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my drawing tool because I think I can see it a little bit better with this one. I'm going to draw 389. I'm going to need 8 tens. Need one more. And then I'm going to need 9 ones. And then my second number was 585. So I'm going to draw 5 hundreds. Again, I need 8 ones. And then I'm going to need 5 ones. I need to make these rods just a little bit longer so you know that's what that is instead of kind of look like ones there. Space was not drawing them long enough. And then I need 5 ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to start putting these numbers together. And we're going to determine, thinking about what we already know about base 10, that anytime that we get 10 or more in one place value, we have to make some exchanges. So we're going to start making exchanges here. Here, I have 9. I know that I need one more there to make a 10. So I'm going to make some exchanges here. I'm going to change my color, and I'm going to mark this one out, and I'm going to put that up here. Now I have a whole 10. What can I do with that 10? Because I can't leave that in this place value. Exactly. I could make an exchange. I could change this out for 110. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line through this one because I'm making that exchange. And now I have 110 here. Okay. That leaves me just 4 ones here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 4 down here. All right, now we're going to look at putting our 10s together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do that same thing. I can't have 10 10s here or more than 10 10s. So I'm going to have to make an exchange. And this time I know that I can take 10 of these and exchange it for that flat. So I'm going to go over to my change my colors, and I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to mark out one of these and put it up here. So that's going to get my 10. I'm going to circle that, and I'm going to make an exchange for a flat. So now that I know I need another flat, I'm going to go over here and draw a flat, and I'm going to X this one out because I don't need these anymore. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to count how many I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to put a 7 here. And then I'm just going to count my hundreds. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I have the answer to my problem. So for today, I want you to focus on drawing pictures and using those base 10 models to help you with your addition today. We're going to do a quick little estimation as well before we get off of here so that you can see if this answer is reasonable. So we're going to go back and do that estimation to see if it's reasonable. So we have 974. So I'm going to go ahead and look at these two numbers and I'm going to estimate them. I'm going to think about what 200s, 585 is between. I know that it's between 500 and 600. I'm thinking about that benchmark number 550, and I know that 585 is greater, so there's 700 or 600 for this particular number. And then this one is between 300 and 400. I know it's past the benchmark 350, so it's going to round to 400. So in this case, our problem comes to 600 plus 400 equals 1,000. So I know that in this particular problem, the answer estimated would be 1,000, And my real answer was 974, so that's a pretty good estimation. Have a great day.